monster.
Hey guys, Klunga here, and today we are talking about what is coming tomorrow, and that are the Swedish mediums. They're going to be coming off of the Leo. Alright, so yeah, and then you get a tier 8, a tier 9, and a tier 10. Unless this is the tier 10. No, I think this is the tier 10. So yep. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the tanks, seeing what they say here, and then making our own theories about what kind of stats they're going to have, because they are going to be nerfed. And before you're like, oh, Clone Guy, don't just assume they're going to be nerfed. Every tank that has been released since 4.6, which was June of 2018, ever since then, every tank released has been nerfed in the tech trees. So, yeah. Keep that in mind as we're going into this. They will definitely be nerfed, which is unfortunate because I just want to talk about this real quick, and hopefully maybe Wargaming will watch or something like that, or somebody will be like, hey, this is completely true. Back in the day when tanks got released, I'll use the Conqueror. No, not even the Conqueror. The Super Conqueror. When that thing got released, holy cow, there were so many Conquerors in the queue. But even before that, the TVP, when that tank got released into the game, there were so many people playing the TVP line, the Skoda line, the Czechoslovakian line, trying to get to the tier 10. Holy cow, tiers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those were all full of these tanks. And it was amazing. However, when the Progetto came out, you would see maybe 1 or 2 guys grinding per game, and then now you barely see it at tier 10. And the same thing with the AMX M4 and all the other tanks that have been coming out. Just people aren't playing them. Who would play a tank like this when you still have the Patton, or you still have even the Leopard 1 in the condition it's at, right? Why would you play worse tanks when you play better tanks? So Wargaming, I don't think you should keep nerfing tanks because this whole, hey, we're different from PC, and yet we still have tanks that have the same stats as PC doesn't make sense to me, because now you've cut the game in half. You have half good tanks, half bad tanks, and the bad tanks people don't play. So I disagree. Either don't buff these or nerf everything else, which would be annoying, but we'll see. Alright, so what's special about these? Hydropneumatic suspension. A tank mechanic unlike any other. Hitting a battlefield harder than a Viking invasion. Well, I doubt it because of the nerfs I'm going to be predicting. The UDES 1516 line is almost here. Researching the new line of Swedish mediums starts at tier 7, specifically from the Leo. They also stand out from the rest of the gang due to their unique hydropneumatic suspensions. So here we go. The tier 9 is going to be 92,000 experience. Here's what it looks like. I mean, you can see right here what it looks like. It's pretty cool. It does look cool, I'll admit that. Then we have my theories might change. This gun. My theories may change because this gun actually looks like the one. This looks like a Royal Ordnance 105. So anyway, actually, yeah, this gun looks really good. Moving on from that, the tier 9 is 150,000. Here's what it looks like. And it's, as you can see, it's hyper angled. And when you're using your gun depression, your turret is almost impenetrable. And then here's the tier 10. Right here, which is even better. The turret armor becomes even stronger, and we'll get into that as well. And it's an auto ricochet, and this turret is going to be beastly. Just look at this thing. Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Very sleek. So what does the hydropneumatic suspension do? Starting from tier 8, the Swedish mediums will have a unique feature. The hydropneumatic suspension, it's like the one available for the top tier Swedish tank destroyers through siege mode, but unlike tank destroyers, it will activate automatically when the tank speed drops below a certain point. When activated, the suspension can change its angles of inclination up or down, which increases the amount of available gun depression or gun elevation. Your tank will automatically activate when its speed is below 10 kilometers an hour and reverted to normal when it accelerates to go faster than 19 for tier 8 and 9, or 23 for tier 10. So that's cool. The tier 10 obviously you can go a little bit faster without having to revert back to your original. This is how your gun will benefit the hydropneumatic suspension. So, the UDES will have 6 plus degrees and 6 minus degrees, which is nice. The UDES will have, for depressions, minus 7 more degrees, and elevation plus 6 more. And the UDES 1516 will have 7 minus more degrees, and 5 plus more degrees for elevation. So that's pretty cool indeed. And this only works if it's directly over your front. If you're kind of pointed to the side, then you'll only get, let's say, 6 more degrees on the tier 10, or a little more over the side, you'll only get 5. And then all the way out to the side, you don't get any benefit. So keep that in mind. And of course, looking down over the back of your tank while your tank is pushing forward has the opposite effect. Of course. And there's going to be an on-track event starting tomorrow, so we'll definitely be taking advantage of this tomorrow during stream. A 50% discount from tiers 2 to 5, 30% discounts from tiers 6 through tiers 10, with 25% silver or XP bonus. And it looks like they have to bribe people to try to get to tier 10 because of the on-track event. They don't usually have on-track events for new tanks, but because this tank is going to be so nerfed, they have to have an on-track event so that people will play it, and then they will say, look, even though we nerfed the tank, people are still playing the line. Well, yeah, that's because you told them you'd give them free stuff, or you'd make it cheaper for them, hence the on-track event. So this is a little bit scumbaggy. If they had the on-track event and they were unnerfed, I'd be all for it. But because they're nerfed, I don't think they should have the on-track event, just so we can see the actual numbers of how many people are actually going to be grinding for them. Because they are going to be nerfed, and they are going to be dominated most likely by patents, which are exactly like they're on PC. Even Action X's can dominate these things. Chisels, machines, yeah, I don't see this working very well in the current meta. But we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. And besides, we don't know what the stats will be. However, this would not be a clone guy video without some theories. Thankfully for you guys, I have already gone through the stats and have decided what I think they're going to change about them. And let's get into those real quick. So we'll start with the UDES 1516. It has a 5.22 rate of fire with 360 alpha damage and 217 pen. That's fantastic. With 1878 DPM. I think they're going to nerf its rate of fire down to 4.88, so its reload of 11.5 is going to be 12.3, and its DPM is going to be 1756, which isn't terrible. That really isn't terrible, but it's still going to be nerfed. We're not done there. The aim time is going to be nerfed from 2.1 seconds down to 2.3, and the dispersion value is going to be nerfed from 0.38 to 0.4, so it's going to be a little bit less accurate. And what else have we got on this thing? Yes, the tank traverse. They tend to nerf tank traverses by 4 degrees every time they introduce a tank. So it's going to go from 40 to 36. And here is what is going to happen when you're in the hydropneumatic suspension. Your elevations go from 20 to 26, and your depression is going to go from 6 to 12. That's pretty cool. So that's the tier 8. Moving on to the tier 9, which this is the one that looks actually like a gem. I think it's going to be amazing. So does the 10, but with the nerfs, I don't know. We'll see. So the 10 is supposed to have almost 2300 DPM, but instead it's going to be down to 2035 because its rate of fire is going to go from 5.88 down to 5.22, which is the same that the tier 8 was supposed to have. So what I've done with these nerfs is I've actually just down-tiered them, but that actually might be a little bit generous in my opinion. I think Wargaming is going to nerf them even harder than what I've stated here, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Time will tell, and by time I mean tomorrow. Tomorrow is very close. The reload time is going to be from 10.2 down to 11, or up to, should I say, 11.5. So 2035 DPM on this thing. The aim time is going to go from 2.2 to 2.5, and the accuracy is going to go from 0.36 to 0.38. And then it's, yet again, I've nerfed its tank traverse by 4 degrees, 46 to 42. And this is what its gun is going to do, 15 degrees to 21 in the hydropneumatic, and 5 degrees to 12 depression in the hydropneumatics. That's fantastic. That's going to be great. That is going to be a gem. But we'll just have to see how well the guns perform. Because if the guns aren't hitting, then there's really no point to that. And, well, update 4.13 is just as bad as update 4.12, if not worse, in regards to RNG and guns hitting. So, yeah, we'll see if these gun nerfs do anything. And like I said, I think these gun nerfs are actually going to be worse. Because this is a slight nerf. What they did to the K91 was take away, like, what, 800 damage per minute? So, yeah. This is only 223, or, yeah, 230, so keep that in mind. So, tier 10, it's going to have a 440 alpha damage gun. The tier 9 had a 390, I didn't mention that. It's going to have a 440 alpha damage gun, and its rate of fire is going to go from 6.38 down to 5.88, which is the same as the tier 9. And therefore, its reload time is going to be instead of 9.4, 10.2. So it's going to have a DPM of 2,587 instead of 2,808. Yet again, this is very generous. This isn't a huge nerf. It's Wargaming we're talking about, Wargaming console. This is probably going to be worse. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Every time I do that, well, I get very disappointed. So we'll see. Its aim time is going to go from 2.2 to 2.5, and its dispersion from 0.35 to 0.37. And I think they're probably going to touch, most likely, their on-the-move gun handling as well, but I didn't want to get into that. So I kept it all the same here. And we're not done there. Its tank traverse is going to go from 50 degrees a second down to 56 degrees a second. its gun depression in the hydropneumatic stage is going to go from 6 degrees to 13, and the elevation is going to go from 20 degrees to 25. So that's pretty cool. And I didn't touch their mobility in regards to the power to weight. However, the power to weight in the engines usually does get hit as well. So these might get nerfed as well. The horsepower per ton may not be 25. It might be more like 22. This one might be more like 19. And this one might be more like 17. So keep that in mind as well, because those tend to get hit as well when these things come out. And the view ranges on all of these is going to be 390. And the fire chance is 10% on the tier 9 and 10 and 12% on the tier 8. So that's, of course, if your engine gets hit, which is not that bad, but I think your engine is in the front. So make sure you keep that in mind as well. Now, I thought we'd take a look at their 3D models. We don't need to do tier 8. It has no armor to speak of. But the tier 9 and 10 are a bit unique. So we'll take a look at those. This is the tier 9. And this, again, I think the tier 9 is going to be the gem of this line because of this armor right here. It's all an auto ricochet. Their per plate is only 50, so be careful of, let's see, Chinese tank destroyers, Russian tank destroyers, American tank destroyers, German tank destroyers. There are a lot of guns that go through this. Alright, so just be careful of that with the overmatch mechanic. But the turret, you don't really have to worry about that here. That's for sure. So yeah, and then if you use your gun depression, like this, whoopity-ba, and you're able to, hide your hull, which you'll be able to because of hydropneumatic suspension, you'll probably be more like this when you use it. Look at that. It's still an auto ricochet. So that's phenomenal. Fantastic. This is going to be fun, but it does have a weak spot. In fact, this isn't one of those really small, annoying weak spots where you have to hit the bottom part. You can hit any part of this, actually, and you'll go in. So keep that in mind there. See, look at this. It's pretty easy to hit. This one's harder to hit, so definitely aim for the left one if you're fighting against these. And then the tier 10 has a much bigger weak spot, but it's a little bit thicker. And it also has a much bigger lower plate. It's going to be harder to hide the hull in this, but if you are using your gun depression like this, you'll probably more likely be kind of like this because of how it works. See, look, the turret almost doesn't look quite as good, though it doesn't have a huge weak spot on top. It does have 2 weak spots, but they're kind of hidden, harder to hit, that's for sure. This is not going to be a hitbox. It can probably still break. It actually might be a hitbox. Oh, wow. Looking at it here, that might be a hitbox. You might be able to overmatch this, 20 millimeters. So keep that in mind when you're fighting one of these. Actually, that's pretty cool. You might be able to go through that. And then this, it doesn't look like it's going to be premium round resistant when it's using its gun depression. And this is heatable. So yet again, I think the tier 9 is going to be the gem of this line. I really, really do. I think the tier 9 is just going to be a beast. Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome, I think. Just depending how badly they nerf it or not. But that's it. That's my take on the tanks. Remember last time I had a theory video, it was the Manticore video, and we theorized that the next tank line was going to be the British Lights, just because we figured that Wargaming was going to be too lazy to work on the hydropneumatic suspension. Well, we were wrong. So keep in mind that all these stats I've been listing may not actually happen. They might still be completely the same as on PC. So keep that in mind, because last time I made a theory video, I was wrong. That might not be the case here, though. We'll give it a go. I mean, when it comes to introducing tanks, Wargaming's been very consistent. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope to see you guys all later. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as we, start grinding the Leo. Oh, well, actually, we'll be starting at tier 5. Oh, boy. As we make our way up to the UDES, 15, 16. And also, later today, I will be streaming on Twitch alone, because I don't like having more than one video per day on the channel. This is the video for today. So over on Twitch, I'll be streaming. I'm going for 30 wins so I can get the Bison T103 for free. For free, I say, when in fact I'm going to be grinding 4 hours of my life away. But yeah, that's going to be happening today. And make sure you go check out SpaceBANDIT and Koala Mentality's YouTube's links in the description below. And I'll be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.